everybody. I want to welcome you, AIBI, helping to host Fashion Revolution USA, because we wanted to have a little Q&A where everybody can get a little bit more information on what Fashion Revolution is, Fashion Revolution Week specifically, and also if you are looking to host events, you still have a little bit of time to get something on the official calendar, or if you're looking for any help along with planning your event. We wanted to be able to give you more information, some feedback, and any mentoring that you might be looking for. So my name is Kat Anderson. I'm a member service coordinator here at AIBI. And we also have Amber Campos, who is our fearless leader, our executive director here at AIBI. But we also have Ashlyn, and I'm going to have you actually pronounce your last name for me, because when I read things, I don't always get it right the first time, from Fashion Revolution USA.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Ashlyn Predzwicki, so it's a mouthful. I understand. I am living in the Midwest in Minneapolis and go to Chicago a lot, and I always love to see all of the energy happening in Chicago. But I'm the director of operations and community at Fashion Revolution USA. So excited to be here and share some more resources for you as you plan or participate in Fashion Revolution Week in any capacity.
Yeah. And if anybody needs a little bit of a review about what Fashion Revolution Week is, it started, correct me if I'm wrong, Ashlyn, 8 years ago this year, or is it 9 already?
It's 9. So,
Okay.
mhm.
With the anniversary of the Rana Plaza incident in Bangladesh, where I believe it was just over 1,000 people lost their lives when a garment factory building collapsed on them. And so part of the investigation and the awareness that Fashion Revolution is trying to bring is to conditions that people are making the clothes that we wear in, how we can try to improve upon that. And also sustainability, we don't want our clothes to necessarily be also not just harming our fellow human beings on this planet, but the planet itself. And what do those changes look like, whether they're on the systemic industry level, or what can we do as individuals as well? So Fashion Revolution Week is a week where all across the globe, really, there are lots of organizations that will host events that can bring awareness to various avenues that Fashion Revolution participates in and brings awareness to. Anything we should add to that, Ashlyn?
That's a great and succinct summary. And so, yeah. Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's a little bit about Fashion Revolution Week. We at AIBI, this is the second year that we have been the Chicago City Leads, which means that we help to support any and all of the Fashion Revolution Week events that are happening in the area. We can, help not just spotlight, but then if you need help planning or just general support and mentorship, we're happy to help with that. We have participated, I believe, since 2018, Amber. We've done documentary screenings like for The True Cost. We screened the movie Made in Bangladesh. We have hosted clothing swaps, panels, informational panels with various designers. I feel like there's a few other things that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But we've been able to participate in quite a few things and also collaborate with a variety of other local organizations like Chicago Fair Trade and their Conscious Closet Club, and others, really. Mending events. We've worked on mending events with a couple of partners. And so there's usually a variety of things that you can do if you want to host an event or participate in an event. There's a lot of different levels. Feel free, if at any point in this Q&A, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We are definitely going to have space for direct question answers where you can, turn your camera on and such like that. If we don't have any, that's fine. We're also going to be recording this, and it will be put up online so you can have a little bit more of the information. Ashlyn, I don't know if you want to talk about anything specific with Fashion Revolution or some of the things that you do. Or, like I said, anything that I've missed so far as Fashion Revolution
Yeah, I mean,
and resources.
I'm happy to kind of I'll share my screen and kind of walk you through some of the things that are available online that you can access, whether you're hosting an event or you're just like wanting to learn more or just like take a small action and like dabble like Kat shared, Fashion Revolution Week has been going on for 9 years now. So it's been 10 years since the Rana Plaza garment factory collapse. And every year, our global community comes together to have shared conversations and actions and community building all around our shared support of a fashion industry that prioritizes people and the planet. So that can look different for every person, for every brand or individual or group or whomever. And so what's really great about Fashion Revolution is that there's resources available for anyone to get active. So this is our website here where we are sharing the theme for Fashion Revolution Week, which is April 22nd through the 29th. April 24th is the anniversary of the Rana Plaza garment factory collapse. But we, do activities, activations all week long, all around the globe. So I believe there's 80 countries around the globe that have an official office that, come together around this shared conversation. So on the website here, you can learn more about Fashion Revolution Week. And this year's theme is the manifesto for Fashion Revolution. So a few years ago, the global community came together and put together 10 manifesto points about why we need a fashion revolution and what fashion could look like if we were to kind of change the way we do things. So you can see on the website here all of the different points of the manifesto. So for example, the first one is, we believe that fashion provides dignified work from conception to creation to catwalk. It does not enslave, endanger, exploit, or discriminate against anyone. So each one of these points kind of talks about, what could the future of fashion look like if we really succeeded in all of our desires. And what's really fun about this part of the website is that you can click on a manifesto point that really resonates with you. And then it has some actions here that go alongside that manifesto point that you feel really strongly about. So, let's say you're interested in manifesto point number 1. You can, read up on the garment worker diaries. You can, kind of map your conversation, which I'll talk a little bit about in a second. Or you could write to your policymaker about, garment worker protections. So there's all sorts of different things that you can do. Like, maybe you're interested in, cultural heritage and craftsmanship. So you can click on that and look at different magazines you can read or explore the Fashion Open Studios. There's just lots of different ways in which you can get involved. And one thing that we're asking is that everybody sign the manifesto, showing solidarity for the future that we want to see, and really just encouraging everybody in the fashion supply chain and fashion industry to agree to this shared vision. And I think that, is something that's really valuable and important. You can also see other links up here about how to join the conversation or downloading campaign assets. Everything is there and free and available to you if you want to print any posters or put something on social media, whatever that looks like. There's definitely something available to you. What's also really exciting is that in the free downloads, you can, indicate if you're part of a brand, if you're a producer or a retailer. There's something in there for every person to access. Like I said, those campaign assets, and our Who Made My Clothes poster. So if nothing else, just encouraging every person to continue that social media campaign that was our original start 10 years ago, where people would, print off "Who Made My Clothes" signs and then, call in a brand that you really love on social media all throughout Fashion Revolution Week and encouraging them to answer you and share that question. who's behind the clothes that I made? Are they paid ethically? And just really keeping that conversation going. Even 10 years later, it's made such an impact, and we know the question still exists, and really just encouraging that if nothing else, that's a great place to start. And there's so many other elements that have built upon that. Many of you are probably also makers, so you can share your story that you make clothes or yarn, or any of these kinds of elements that go into our textiles, and really just show the faces behind fashion. So there's a lot of those resources available there. There's a lot of downloadable guides around how to host an event. So there is, just like these really great simple magazines, which I know Kat and Amber have done so many of these events before and can probably answer some of those questions, but there's a lot of guidance in these booklets of the step-by-step on how you can host any kind of event. We have, films that are available for free. Catwalk to Creation, True Cost, Made in LA. So if there's any of those that you want to show, just let us know, and we can provide access to those documentaries for free. And then what's new this year and really exciting are the climate change talk conversations. So we're asking anybody who has a conversation during Fashion Revolution Week or beyond throughout the entire year, at that intersection of fashion and climate, to share that conversation and tag it on the global map. So over the course of the year, we'll be able to see who around the world are having conversations with individuals that they care about or are in their network, to just talk about the importance or talk about the manifesto points, and really just engage in individual one-on-one conversations, because that's where change can really happen. Yes, we want to put together all these amazing big events and get a lot of visibility and awareness, but where influence really happens is on that one-to-one level, where you as the influencer are just like impacting those people around you just by being who you are. And so I think there's so much beauty in that, and we overlook it often. And so just know that by showing up and asking and having conversations, you're already doing so much to influence the future that you want to see. So I can share all of these links with Kat and Amber, and if there's any questions, I'm more than happy to try to direct.
Thank you so much, Ashlyn, for that. And then I believe she'll be sticking around, so if anybody does have specific questions about Fashion Revolution Week or Fashion Revolution that we can't help answer, we've got three people here that can help with those questions. And again, feel free to drop them in the chat if there's anything specific. Amber, do you want to take it from here and talk a little bit about what we've got in the works for next month?
AIBI is participating in, I believe, 3 events this year, which is a lot more than we normally help to host. We typically just support other events that are happening, but they were a little bit too good to pass up. So first of all, has anybody read the book Worn, W-O-R-N, by Sophie Tannhauser? Fantastic. I actually saw it in my public library as like a featured book, and that's how all of this started. We hosted a book club back in December of last year, with the Chicago Conscious Closet Club, and everybody just absolutely loved it. We have been in contact with her publicist, thanks to Pam from Cloth and Home. And it looks like we will actually be able to host 2 events with Sophie here in Chicago on the 26th and the 27th. The 26th will be an event that is open to the public. Anybody who is interested in learning more about sustainable fashion, it will be a panel discussion at Columbia College, which is downtown. And on the 27th, we are hosting Sophie in a much smaller, much more intimate event where she will be also signing books at Cloth and Home, which is in Evanston. So 2 great opportunities to meet this amazing author. Additionally, we are working with one of our board members to screen one of the films that Ashlyn actually was talking about earlier, Fashion Reimagined, which will also happen somewhere downtown. We're not exactly sure of the venue right now. We're still working that part out, but likely that will be happening on either the 25th or the 28th. So there are 3 potential very great events happening, at least as part of AIBI for Fashion Revolution Week. But I know we are really excited to hear from everybody else to know what it is you all are doing for Fashion Revolution as well.
And we will be posting about that on social media tomorrow. So you don't have to jump in tonight, but you can email us, you can DM us about the events that you're doing so we can help spotlight that, throw a little attention on them. I believe Ashley had mentioned to us earlier that it's the 31st is the last date to get it sent into Fashion Revolution for the official Fashion Revolution calendar. But definitely, again, like, get it up there, get it out there, let us know so we can help celebrate the events that you all have planned. Did anybody want to jump in here now and talk about what they're working on? Otherwise, we can also start opening up for any questions that somebody has currently. If there's anything specific you wanted to ask about or get any advice, or if there's something you're finding, a resource that you're still trying to find for your events, or even just about Fashion Revolution Week in general. Is AIBI doing the 5x5 challenge again? No, we've got, with all these other like in-person events, the 5x5 challenge was something that we had especially started during the pandemic because it was something that we could do online and really draw in people from all over. The idea is that you would pick 5 pieces of clothing from your own wardrobe, tops, bottoms, dresses, I think that outerwear counts as accessories, so it wasn't like counted in the main 5 pieces, but then you would style 5 different looks to wear across the 5 like weekdays, or at least 5 out of the 7 days of Fashion Revolution Week, to get a feel for shopping within your own closet, to be a little bit more intentional about how you're wearing things, and to look away from having to do an immediate shopping to feed what you're wearing and what your wardrobe habit was, to really rethink about how we can consume intentionally, and that maybe if we're all purchasing a lot of fast fashion, that can feed into the negative impacts of the industry systems that are currently in place. So that takes a lot of prep work and some coordinating. And so with the other events that we've got planned for this year, and the fact that we can operate and connect with people on a more face-to-face level this year, we decided to put that on hiatus for now. So if anybody else wants to do a 5x5 challenge, it's a great way to just interact with people, even if you just have your own social media account, and just be like, I want to challenge people to rethink how they choose their clothing and how they shop. Please feel free to run with that idea and let us know if you need any pointers or ideas with some of the specifics and stuff.
Yeah, and also, will there be a consolidated list online of all the events? Yes. So we are putting a call out for events tomorrow on our Instagram. If you are present here today and you are hosting an event, please also email that to us. We are hoping to put out a list within probably by right after March 31st, right? So that's the deadline to submit it to Fashion Revolution. And hopefully by then we'll have a nice long list of things that are happening in the Chicagoland area. Additionally, we do have some events leading up to Fashion Revolution Week that might be of interest to everybody here. There is a clothing swap happening with Conscious Closet Club, Conscious Costume, and AIBI, and that's taking place on April 14th through April 16th. That event, also that weekend, is full of other things that are also happening. But that one's going to be great. So this swap is taking place at the Chicago Fair Trade Museum, which is on Halsted Street. And it includes clothing for all ages, all sizes, accessories, shoes, the works. So it's going to be really great if you can join us. Kat has put the Eventbrite in the chat, and hopefully we'll get to see you guys there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because they actually have, I believe, 3 days worth of events with it. And there will be a couple of places across the city where you can drop things off if you have donations of various garments leading up to that weekend even. I believe our day here at the AIBI Fashion Lab is going to be Wednesday, April 12th.
And that is correct. Yes. So there's places on the south side, there's places on the west side, there's places on the north side. There might even be suburban places that you can drop off clothing beforehand, so you don't have to bring it all there.
Page for all the events
there will be a page. We have a page on our website. It has not been updated for 2023 yet. So Kat, I did hide that. I noticed that. So we will update that for 2023, and it will include all of the events that are happening with links to where you can volunteer, and how you can get in contact with the organizers. So that will be a nice little concise list, easy to find. On April 15th as well, there is a wonderful fashion show happening called Discard Disco, and right on time.
Discard Disco is an amazing event. We actually support an organization. This is the annual fundraising event for the Waste Shed, which is a creative reuse center here in Chicago. They now have 2 locations as of last year, which is amazing. And I believe they are at a point where they have helped rescue over 80,000 tons of art materials and various found objects, things for art, school supplies. They always maintain a shelf that is specifically for Chicago public school teachers. You just show your ID and they've got all sorts of supplies that you can use for your classroom that's free. And they support, again, a variety of not just artists, but individuals of a variety of demographics. And so the Discard Disco is their annual fundraiser, but it's also a trash fashion show. So they basically will put together these materials boxes of a lot of donated materials, not just fabric and yardage and notions like buttons or zippers and things. They also will usually put in at least a couple of unusual objects, and designers can sign up, again, from a wide variety of backgrounds and ranges and skill sets to create a functional garment, like an entire outfit. And then this year, because we've had so many entries, I believe we started with 43. They will be narrowed down to 20, and 20 contestants will actually walk a physical runway, which this year, so excited, will be at the Chicago Athletic Hotel in their, is it called the White City Ballroom? It's the one that's actually facing Michigan Avenue, overlooking Millennium Park and Lake Michigan. So literally, I believe the unofficial theme for this year is rags to riches.
Yes, rags to riches. And yeah, Jess was mentioning that they have marbles and wires in this year's box, which, is it better than the buckles? It feels better.
I don't know. There were some very interesting buckles. This is going to be interesting. I do believe some of my favorites, though. One year, somebody had gotten those styrofoam eggs and found a technique, or came up with a technique, to use acetone to melt it down and shape it into these little clear plastic jewels that they've then painted to use as decoration for the garment. There's been a couple of times where people have even taken the shipping box, the materials came in, and turned it into a hat, or turned it into paper pulp to, again, create decoration and whatnot for that. And so it's a wonderful way to talk about, again, fashion and garments and how we make things, but how we can really create and sustain a circular economy. Not just the idea that we're purchasing something new, we use it until we're done using it, not always necessarily until it's done being used. And then, a lot of times things will end up in the trash, but it doesn't have to be that way. So that this could be a portion of people's fashion experience is really exciting.
Yeah, and then I think the one other event, which is post Fashion Revolution Week, because this is something we should be talking about all year long, not just during this one week of the year. On May 20th, there is another fashion show being hosted. This one is all about single-use plastics. So there will be multiple designers making clothing out of single-use plastics. I believe the showstopper is one that's 300 and something bags, just, 309 plastic bags, which symbolizes the amount of plastic bags that are used per second. If I'm not, yep, that's correct, per second, per minute. Per minute. Jess is giving me quotes in the chat. So 309 plastic bags are used per minute here in Chicago. And so this dress is supposed to symbolize how many of those bags are being used per minute unnecessarily. So it's going to be a really interesting event. That one is also happening at the Chicago Fur Trade Museum. I swear not everything happens there, but this
It's a good space though, and it's
It's a
fairly
great space.
central, so yeah.
Yeah. So we will have all of this up on our website. We also share it on our Instagram. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to us. You can either email us, aibi@aibi.com, or DM us on Instagram at AIBI Chicago. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you, and please
Absolutely.
send us your events.
Yeah, and again, like we'll hold the space open for a little while so that people can get any questions if you have something immediate. But again, feel free to DM us, email us. We can always go over things with you. And then you have to March 31st to get your events officially on the calendar. And we should have within the next week, I think after that, hopefully the calendar and potential volunteer opportunities up so that people can participate in other ways. Thank you so
Can't
much. I'm Kat, and this is Amber from AIBI. And then say a big thank you to Ashlyn for Fashion Revolution USA. We've been so happy to have you talk about this with us.
Anytime.
Yeah. All right, everybody, have a great night, and we'll see you later. See you next month.
Bye.
To say, have they gotten
Okay,
over daylight
that's
savings
who
yet?
I was thinking of. So Jess, I said, why do I look like April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? But yes, Jubilee.
From
Yes,
X-Men.
yeah.
Yes, that makes
I'm
sense.
so excited. I can't. I love it.
I was like, I'm gonna type that and no one's gonna know what I'm talking about. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh.